Now let's look at heat maps. A heat map is a graphical representation of data values in a two-dimensional table format in which higher values are represented by darker colors and lower values by lighter ones. Note that a heat matrix is actually a synonym for a heat map. So here we have our, under Analyze and under Filters and Histograms, under Histogram, we can then see a heat matrix, which we actually saw in the last video. Heat matrix shows utilization, so you can click through, select one of these, and you have lots of options to see usage by color. The show and hide heat maps you can show and hide heat maps by clicking the heat matrix at the top of the histogram filtering window. So in other words, this heat matrix here. Each cell in the heat map is colored by using a color from a range of colors. Notice there is a legend in the lower right which associates the colors with the values displayed. Notice that in this view you can select multiple entries by holding down Control and clicking each one. So if I do that, you can see number 2, only the corresponding entity representations will be highlighted. So you can combine these columns, clicking both columns. Number 3, if you tick, when you ticked, you'll see light gray icons appear, and that is here because of the hidden items we talked about earlier. So when you turn that on, you'll see that any items that apply here will be turned gray. So when they're unticked, those icons will essentially disappear. So this is trying to indicate for you how much data you want to see. If you have lots and lots of data, clicking gray out may not be a good idea because you may be inundated with data and you may want to uncheck this. This is a histogram with a heat map applied to it. So the vertical axis here shows that we're looking at number of cards in the heat map. And again, you can see that heat matrix says number of cards. You can tell here that we are using some heat matrix options. Well, this is the list. You can choose betweenness. For example, here I have selected betweenness. And in fact, you can see that here because you notice one item between 210 and 210.5 and with a number of cards analysis attributes set to 0. So it gives you the results here. You can right click on any of these and that will show you copy item labels, and of course hovering is what brought us here.